Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Leadership TKO with your host, Lakeisha McKnight. It is that time again where we're coming together at night for the podcast. And if you're fresh and you're new to this podcast, this is a brand that's housed under a limited liability company entitled the International Leadership Education and Development Company. And right now, of course, I'm doing this podcast live from Chesapeake, Virginia. So what I want to share with you a little about the brand is that the mission of this brand, this company, is really to partner with universities, with small businesses and associations to build winning leaders. And with this brand, there are subdivisions. Okay, there are subdivisions, and one of the subdivisions is Leadership TKO for Women. So as you may see from the title of the podcast, is Leadership TKO for Women, with the subtitle of how stress impacts women mentally. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, but I want to share with you a little bit more about the brand, about what we have going on with this subdivision, so you can see if you would like to continue to stick around and be a part of what we have going on. And there are many of you from all around the world that listen into this podcast, and I want to say thank you. On behalf of all the team members a part of this company, I say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you want to learn more about this podcast, you want to learn more about what we have going on, I encourage you to visit leadershiptko.com to learn more. So I just want to share with you briefly, just a little bit of information briefly about what it is that we're doing. With the subdivision, we have a global women's leadership campaign going on. And you can feel free to visit borntolead2017.com to learn more about this campaign. But the campaign, the essential focus is to gather women all around the world to unify, to support one another in all that we're doing, to be leaders ourselves and to build other female leaders around us. And so that's what we essentially are doing right now. So if you are the type of individual, you're a female, you want to build leaders as well, we encourage you to join in and just come on board as far as what we're doing. And the way that you're going to do this is by visiting www.borntolead2017.com. So as we were talking about yesterday, stress impacts women, and I want to talk a little bit about that. It has the ability to impact women in a major way, especially mentally. We have so many roles, so many things that we do as women, so many hats we wear. We know that. But if we don't take care of ourselves, we can break down. Just like with anything, if you do too much, take on too many tasks, you can easily burn out. Okay? And burnout impacts us in a big way. Okay? It impacts us in a big way, and which leads, of course, to depression and other types of mental health concerns because it triggers something in us to impact us in a bigger way. And so we have to take care of ourselves mentally with our minds and definitely take a moment to break, even if that means going on vacation or getting our nails done, getting our feet done, pedicures, right? Ways in which you can take care of yourselves. This is important for us mentally. Sometimes you need to give your brain a break. I remember my former pastor would say that. Give your brain a break. And this is essential when it comes to really moving forward and really growing as a leader, especially a female leader. We need to give our brains a break and allow our brains to go on vacation, not to think about all the different things that we need to take on and complete. So think about that for yourself, okay? But mentally, it can cause us to break down. It impacts us in a huge way. We can begin to develop issues with anxiety. Yes, and we're going to talk about anxiety on next week. But we can develop issues with anxiety and have anxiety attacks or panic attacks. Okay? We're going to talk a lot about anxiety on next week, but let's focus in on stress. It impacts us huge. We can end up with migraines and headaches and severe migraines to the point where it becomes more of a larger problem, a larger disease that impacts our body. And think about the word disease. Break it down. The word disease, D-I-S, dis, and an ease. There is an inability to have an issue eased or alleviated because of issues that impact us externally. We're not at ease. There's a dis-ease that's going on. Okay? So think about that in those terms as far as breaking that down. So how can we avoid being diseased? How can we avoid being so stressed that it impacts us mentally? Give your brain a break. Give your brain a vacation. Take a moment and just say, I have to get away. Go for a walk, right? Don't do anything for like 24 hours. Give your brain a break. If you have time, you can take off from work. If you're working a 9 to 5, give yourself a break. If you're in business for yourself full time, give yourself a break. But make sure, of course, that you have your business automated so that your business can continue to run, even if you are breaking. All right. So think about that as you're moving forward as a female. But if you haven't listened to the podcast yesterday, I announced something special because with this campaign, we also have events that take place. And one of the first events that we have coming up is the May 27th convention taking place in Portsmouth, Virginia. And I want to encourage every mom that's listening, if you can be present in Portsmouth, Virginia on May 27th, this will help to give your brain a little bit of a break and also the fellowship with other sisters in the area, sisters in business. Learn more about the convention when you go to leadershiptkoconvention.com. And here's the thing, all this week, all the way up to May 15th at midnight, tickets are free. Okay, absolutely free when you enter the promotional or discount code Mother's Day. No apostrophe, no capital letters, no spacing. Just put Mother's Day into that code area and your ticket will be free. And that's just for this week. So be sure you go to leadershiptkoconvention.com, enter the code when you register so your ticket can be free. And I would love to see you in Portsmouth, Virginia on May 27th for this grand event. Because if you're a woman in business, you're going to have the ability to strategically partner with other women. We're going to allow you to be able to form partnerships. We're going to share with you basic instructions on how to do that at this event. You're looking for new partners in your network marketing or direct sales business. This will be the place to get it because this is where leaders are going to be located who may want to partner with you. So, learn more, get plugged in, get your ticket. But, conventions is one way to plug in, but we also have the reality show going on as well. Our next person we have coming up to be on the reality show is LJ Crawford or Lisa Crawford. And she has an amazing story to share as far as how she lost 100 pounds and what did she do to celebrate after she lost that 100 pounds. So find out by joining the campaign. And when you enter the campaign group, you're going to figure out how you can listen into this video conference with Miss Crawford. Again, get plugged into the campaign when you visit borntolead2017.com. All right. So again, give yourself a break, ladies, your brain a break so that it doesn't impact you in a huge way mentally. It's important for you to do that as often as possible, at least once every 2 weeks if you're extremely busy. But if you have that luxury, once every week. Okay. All right. Well, I am going to wrap up some things here. We're going to talk more about how stress impacts us physically on tomorrow. And so come back here at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so that we can dive into this information. But I just want you to remember something very important before we leave out. And you know what it is. Boldly declare that you are a woman and that you are born to lead, because that's what this campaign is truly all about. You are a woman. You are born to do something great in this world today. And that's the reason why you're still living. And I want to encourage you never to give up, never throw in the towel, never throw in the towel. Okay. And you are already a winner. You are born to lead. But until tomorrow, I want you to do this. I want you to think, speak, and live leadership. Be blessed, and I'll speak with you then.